Hello and welcome, gentlemen, to live Q&A in my lingerie with me, Arica Angelo. I am so glad to welcome you guys here. We do this every Thursday. This is Bali time. I live in Bali, Indonesia, so we do this every Thursday at noon Indonesia time. I'm very glad to be able to do this, to come and answer your questions. It's my way to be able to connect with you guys, to understand where you are in your journey with women, whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship. So if you're new, this is your first time, I just ask that you subscribe and turn on the notification bell, because the beauty of that is that YouTube will let you know when I'm about to do one of these. It'll send you an email, it'll send you a notification to say, hey, Arica Angelo is about to do this live Q&A in her lingerie. So thank you guys for being here. Thank you for all the thumbs up too. Oops, I just saw that. All the thumbs up. I appreciate you guys. That really helps me out a lot. So thank you for doing that. And without further ado, I'm going to start answering your questions. So I'm going to put on my trusty little glasses here. And let's begin. So Daniel Millsap says, how do you know? This is actually a really good question. How do you know if you're a high value man? Also, how can you tell if you're dating a high value woman? That's a great question. I think when we talk about a high value man, there's a lot of things that we're talking about. One, let's just talk about a practical level. He has his finances in order. Okay. Women are always going to crave safety. That's like kind of ingrained into us, is to crave that sense of safety. So having your financial house in order is important. He is a man who does life on his own terms. I believe that is a high value man, meaning he doesn't allow life to dictate him, but he is the master of his life. Now, granted, we all go through seasons where we feel a bit out of control. And especially with Corona, obviously that's pushed a lot of our buttons. But for the most part, he is in control of his life. Like, he is ahead of the curve. The other thing is he's an emotional warrior, meaning he can have emotional, intelligent conversations with her. He has emotional fortitude. When a conversation gets a bit hot or heavy, he doesn't just walk away, but he can stand in the tension and have that conversation with her. He's got that strength. And he's very comfortable in his skin. And I think that is a journey that we all kind of have to go on. Some people are more gifted with being comfortable. I wouldn't say gifted, but more people are more apt to being comfortable in their skin based on their upbringing, and these sort of things. But he's comfortable in his skin. He feels comfortable with who he is as a man. These are the things that are what make a high value man. Also, just if you guys are just joining, I would ask if you would just hit the thumbs up, because that will let YouTube know, hey, this is a good video and we should share this with other people. So a high value woman is a woman who, same thing, I would say it's sort of the exact same. Her finances are in order. She is emotionally dependent on herself, meaning she's not going to come to you with tons of baggage looking for you to fix her. But she's capable of sorting herself out. And what I mean by that is, she works with therapists, she works with coaches, she works with other mentors. So she's not fully dependent on you. She has her own support system in place. She's highly communicative about her needs with you. She can tell you what's going on inside of her. You're not dating a little girl that you have to play guessing games with. She's very direct. She's going to let you know exactly what's going on inside of her. And she also is, here's the thing that we don't talk about a lot, but she's still tapped into her femininity, because a woman can be strong and independent, but that doesn't necessarily make her a high value woman. makes her a high value woman is being able to have those qualities, but still have access to her femininity, to still have access to those tender, delicate places that make her a woman, that make her soft, that make her a woman. So, Daniel, I hope that that answers your question. Edwin, Ninja Wolf, you ask funny questions. I can't tell if you're serious or if these are real, but they do tickle me because they're so sweet. You're like, do you think practicing my kissing in the mirror is way better than kissing a pillow? Yes, because it makes the connection with you as opposed to your pillow. Edwin Ratutal says, aloha from Hawaii. He says, do you find shaved bald men sexy? Yes, I think that bald men can be very sexy. I think what's his name? Jason Stratham. He's really kind of like paved the way for bald guys to be really sexy. I think The Rock, he's done a great job with being bold and sexy. So yes, a bald guy can be very sexy. And there are some women who just flat out prefer to be with a bald guy. So yeah, it can be super sexy. Anthony Jones has a question. He says, hi, Miss Arica. Well, hello, Mr. Jones. Mr. Anthony, he says, the question I have is, my girlfriend is retired, but I still work a shift from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. Monday through Friday, and 2 Saturdays a month. I work 15-hour shifts. My girlfriend always says she loves me and I'm the only guy for her, but she always informs me about other guys hitting on her when she's alone, away from me. The question I have, Miss Arica, is this a sign from her that she is cheating on me? Let me go back to that. Should I not be worried at all? Very frustrated. Okay. So when a woman is telling you that other men are flirting with her, it's her way of saying, like, hey, I'm still valuable. People are still looking at me. And so even though logically she probably understands that you have to work these shifts to support yourself, there's I would venture to guess that there's a portion of her that even though she logically understands that, emotionally she feels a bit neglected by you. And so when a woman feels neglected, we go, hey, I am still desirable. Someone still prizes me. And so one thing that I would really encourage you, Anthony, is to ask her a question. I try to give you guys questions that are not normal questions, to kind of go outside of the matrix, to go outside of the problem, and to be able to access her heart. So what I would love for you to do, Anthony, is ask her, how can I show up for your heart in better ways? Write that down, Anthony. How can I show up for your heart in better ways? Because chances are, like I said, she's feeling a bit emotionally neglected. Her heart isn't feeling loved. And I understand where you're coming from. You're probably exhausted. You're tired from working these shifts. But we can always find creative ways to be there for our partner's heart, right? So ask her that question, and just ask her, like, how can I show up to better love on your heart? How can I do that for you? What would make you feel special to me? What would make you feel special? What can I do to help you feel special? Because essentially, when she's saying, I've got other guys who are looking at me, it's like, I'm still special, whether you see it or not. And so you need to convey to her that she is still very special to you, despite how busy you are with your work, that she is the only girl in your life. Okay, I hope that supports you, Anthony. Jason, very kind of you. How are you doing today, Arica? Honestly, I've been feeling a bit tired lately. I'm a little sleepy. But other than that, life is pretty damn good. Um, Ninja Wolf, hey, Cinnamon Bun, how are you and Andy doing? Andy is actually, he's got half of the day off. He is celebrating he's a Muslim, and today is the end of the Ramadan. And so he is getting to eat and feast and pray. And so he is doing that today. So he's doing well. I'm sure he's doing very well now that he can drink water and eat throughout the day. James Burton, what up? Brandon Bowen, hi, darling. Ninja says, Andy is the handsomest man I've ever met. I will tell Andy that. He will really appreciate that. And a lot of my girlfriends seem to agree. They see Andy and they go, oh my God, he's so good looking. That's quite funny. Hi, Erica. Those glasses are intimidating. Oh, heavens, darling. Oh, heavens. Next question. Um, Ooh, I like that. James Burton says, Daniel, all masculine, responsible men are high value. Well said. And I would venture to say who can also show up for a woman emotionally. That as well. Al says, hey, hello, Erica. Just listening as I take out the trash. Do your thing, homeboy. Do your thing. Ransom Masek says, ¿Qué tal, mis amigos? He's checking in on all of you guys. Damani says he loves my fingernail polish, that it matches me perfectly. Thank you, darling. Thank you. Thank you, Chris. He says, I'm looking beautiful today. I appreciate that. Thank you. Random Lake, Wisconsin. Welcome, all as well. Red Wine Erica gets better with time. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Damani says he wants to tickle me. Interesting. Ronak. Oh, Ronak. Ronak is one of my favorite people. He's been one of my most favorite clients that I've been able to serve. Ronak and I was going to a musical. I think I was going to watch Hamilton, actually. And I was leaving a restaurant with some friends, and I heard a guy say, Arica Angelo. And I was like, who go there? And lo and behold, it was Ronak. And he said, I saw you on an interview and I really love your work. And we connected. And Ronak has just been he was a client, but now he's just a dear, precious person in my life. And I just treasure that guy. So Ronak, it means a lot to have you here. Oh, excuse me. Al corrected me. It's Jason Statham. Thank you, darling. I appreciate that. All right. Chris says, hi, Erica. How do you feel about shallow thrusting? Can you use this as a sexual technique with all women, or does it depend on the woman? You know, it's a great way to tease a woman, to be honest with you. When a guy does that, Rhodes is like, work for my ex. Yeah, it's a form of teasing. Like eventually you want to give her the whole D, right? It's not just like here, it's like just the temp, just the temp. She's like, okay, enough, bro. Like give me the full D. But yes, I think that is a great form of teasing, because it's like, no, girl, you don't get all of it just yet. You don't get all of it. You gotta wait for it. You gotta wait for it, which will drive her crazy. Michael Bree had his comment without it says, please squeeze me with those tights. What tights? Michael says, Michael Al Capone. Whoa, what a great last name. Great. I'm going to make you an offer you can't refuse. Hi from TJ, Mexico. How to keep a long distance relationship interested. Sometimes you don't know what else to say. Sexting is a great way to keep things interesting. Just random, like, hey, are you alone? Yes. Boop, boop. FaceTime, butt naked. This is what I'm thinking about doing to you, blah, 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 blah. That makes it very interesting. Sending her random flowers is very important. The other thing I would encourage you is keep her posted throughout the day. When you see a beautiful flower, when you see something funny going on the street, when you overhear a conversation, keep her interested in the random parts of your day, because that lets her know, like, hey, I am thinking about you. A woman, when there's long distance, we start questioning whether or not we're still special in that person's eyes, because you can't have that physical contact. You don't have the eye engagement, all the things that we can do for each other in person. So when she's missing that, what she's essentially missing also is how special she is to you. So by reminding her that, like, throughout the day, that she is still in your thoughts, makes her feel more special, and it keeps it interesting, more alive. Keeps it interesting, keeps the relationship more interesting and alive. Sometimes my mind thinks of things and I'm like, I think I've already said it because I'm like 20 steps ahead. And then I realize after I say it, I'm like, yeah, that didn't come out right. So Island Chief says, been having small talks with a crush. Asked her if I can meet her on breaks. Her friend chuckles after she told me she has a boyfriend later on. Lunch, she kept glancing at me. What does this mean? It means you've piqued her interest, because if the boyfriend ain't doing it right, then chances are she's like, but who's that over there? Who's this interesting guy over there? So interesting. Keep your eye on that. Let me scroll back up. Oh, thank you, Arlen Chief. He says, I am so gorgeous. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ransom McKissick, this is a very interesting question. I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to this if you're living in places where you feel like women are a bit jaded, hardened. Ransom says, what do you think of men who go overseas to find wives, especially where there's a significant age difference, 20 years or so? Okay, well, I didn't read the second part of that question. I do understand because, I've been living overseas and I hear from a lot of men, I think, let's just be honest, when women are overseas, there's a level of income that they don't have, like money, right? Resources. So it makes them more compliant in a relationship. They're more likely to be obliging to the guy. I remember seeing this kind of, maybe I shouldn't share this story. I'm going to share it. I remember being in an airport and I saw this exact situation. The guy definitely looked 20 years older than his wife. And they had a child, and the guy was on his phone the whole time, and the wife looked like a servant. I mean, she was like just chasing after the kid, feeding the kid, getting him food, getting him drinks. And I was like, did you get a wife or a servant? So, I get it. Like a guys, and most of these guys, I'm always shocked. I'm like, they have massive bellies, they're overweight, and they get these really young girls. And we all know it's money. We know it's survival for these girls because they don't have a lot of opportunities where they live. And so marriage is their opportunity to create a better life for themselves. At the end of the day, like if you're doing it for love, obviously that's wonderful. But I do understand that there is a practical element of this. Some of these guys, one, they can't be bothered with pursuing a Western woman because it is a lot more work. When a woman understands her value, she's not the easiest girl to get, and rightly so. Just like a Bugatti is not something that you can just everyone can go and get. It's a high value car. So I think that if it's for love, it's beautiful. I do think that it's quite rare that it's for love. I think it's out of convenience where the guy gets lazy and doesn't want to chase Western women. I think, and there is some truth to guys get tired of they say with a lot of Western women, there's a lot of entitlement and guys don't want to put up with the BS. And I understand that too. I mean, that goes both ways for both sexes. Like, women will go for older guys because they're tired of younger guys who are just emotionally inept, so it's like, I might as well go for a young, older guy who is established, has his life together, has been through maybe a marriage and knows what it's like to take care of a woman, to support her, to be a partner. Whereas young guys are just like, I'm on Tinder. So, I understand when it's for love, it's great. But if you're just going there because, you're getting a servant situation, come on, man, like treat her right. She's been through a lot, treat her good. And I do see that a lot of these women who are with these type of guys, that they do treat their men quite well. Not all of them. Some of them, it's interesting. It's like the Eddie Murphy, he was like, he marries a girl from another country. He brings her back and she's like, Eddie, half, Eddie, half. So I think some of these girls can go, like this Western mentality, and they can adapt to that. And then that's where the guy's like, damn it, I'm in the same debacle that I was in if I had stayed with a Western girl. Oh, Jesse Salazar. Hi, Arica. So I've heard your dating advice and many other coaches. I'm not the only coach you guys listen to. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. It's okay. I listen to other dating coaches too. I think some of them have really good advice out there. Some really good coaches out there. Hi, Arica. So I've heard your dating advice and many other coaches. You guys all say the same thing. Women are attracted to guys with a purpose. Yeah. Because why? Why is a woman attracted to a man with a purpose. Because at the end of the day, a guy who has purpose is a man who's on a mission. He's going somewhere. It's just like when women were attracted to like war heroes and things like that. Like these guys were going out and they were fighting for their country. There was something that they believed in. And so when we see a society filled with stagnant men, and that goes for women as well, women who are more obsessed with the Kardashians than they are of cultivating a different life for themselves. I'm not saying all women, because there are a lot of driven women out there, which I freaking love that women are becoming so driven. And it's going beyond their beauty and what they can accomplish in this world. I love that. And so it's the same thing. Like we're attracted to people who are confident and who have direction with their life. Why? Because they're in control of their life. They're living a life of vision. And you know, I like to use that scripture that says, without a vision, people perish. There's something about a person who has vision for their life that makes them more lively. It makes them more vibrant. It makes them more attractive. Mike says hello from Canada. Wow. Nice to have you, darling. The Royal One, he has his comment withheld. YouTube does this from time to time when they see cuss words and stuff. It says, stop being controlled by your and start thinking with your big brain. Cayman Music says, why some women hide their feelings from a man they like more than a friend, even though the woman put him in a friend zone. Essentially, when a woman is hiding her feelings, the same reason why a man hides his feelings is because she's afraid of getting hurt. But the only way that she's going to be able to connect with him is to go beyond that veil of pain and to take a risk. But she ends up shooting herself in the foot by not conveying her emotions. And the same thing goes for men. When we don't speak from the heart, when we're not honest about where we are, we create a lot of trouble and problems for ourselves, as opposed to being vulnerable and just saying, this is where I am. I'm not sure if you're on the same page. And we run the risk of being hurt. But hello, it's called living. Every day that you step outside of your home or you stay inside your home, everything's a risk. It's called living. It's having alive aspirations as opposed to having dead motivations, being dead. Coil Rhythm Blues says, Arica, can a man love two women just as much as at the same time? I believe so, because I think that when a man loves two women, he's getting different needs met from both women. I don't think that that's the best course of action. I think, you know, whoever you started with, finish with them, you know, have an honest conversation with them about what it is that you fully want. And if you're not getting your needs met, then having an honest conversation and saying, I don't feel like I'm being fully met and supported here. This is what I would really love to have happen in our relationship. Sean McMillan says, good afternoon, Arica. Hi, Sean. Sean's one of my emotional warriors. I deeply appreciate your sage advice. You are phenomenal. Thank you, Sean. Sean is such an encourager. I'm so, sometimes the guys who become the emotional warriors end up blessing my life. And Sean has been one of those guys that has just significantly touched my life, because he's spoken to some things regarding my sister's situation. And I'll forever be grateful for that. Mayor Justice goes, who's Andy? Andy is my assistant. He does everything to help my life run smoother. And I'm so grateful for him. All right. Let me keep sometimes it just jumps around and I miss a lot of comments. Where did it go? Chris says, great Al Capone impersonation. Okay, next question. Oh, cool. So cool, guys. So cool. So this gentleman's name, I don't want to mess up your name. It's Satyawan Arha. He says, I'm from Indonesia. This is so cool. It's not very often that I see someone actually from Indonesia on my YouTube live. So this is really cool. I'm from Indonesia and I have a long distance relationship with a girl in USA who keeps on clinging to me, and I've sent a little money just to support her. I have no money to send, never met her. How to tell if that's not a scam? Do not, I've said this before, do not send her money. Until she's your woman and you guys have connected, you have no business sending this woman money. Absolutely stop doing this. Speaking of Indonesia, look how cool this is, you guys. Like, just, I don't know. Look at those coconuts on my floor. How cool is that? I try to drink coconuts every day here. We get fresh coconuts here, and it's wonderful. I love this. Um, yeah. Gary Kindred. Hi, Erica. Gary from Springfield, Illinois. Compliments to a woman are very important from time to time to make her feel loved and appreciated. Absolutely. Johnny. Hello, Erica. She say, call if I like, should I? Text her, call, give a want, no response. Johnny, I would say in your situation, because I know a little bit about Johnny's situation, I would give her a bit of a break. Give her a break and let her figure out what she wants so that you're not constantly chasing. Brandon says, this is interesting. I stopped talking to this girl a while back and now she seems interested again. And I just don't know what to do. Brandon, I think having a very direct conversation with her and asking her, what gives? You weren't interested before and now you are. What's changed? I want to know. Because if you can't answer that, then there's no point in us continuing this. David says he's going to come back and watch the replay. Absolutely, darling. Michael says, thanks for the advice. We'll work on it. Awesome. Oh, this is such a nice compliment. You guys are I really appreciate these compliments. It's very encouraging. G-Man says, your hair. Yeah, I've gone a little bit blonder. And to be honest with you, I have a product sitting in my hair. It's kind of gross. I can't wash it until tomorrow. So it looks kind of a little greasy. But anyways, they are, yeah, I put a straightener in it because like in Bali, it just frizzes and fries because of the sun and pools and motorbikes. So I had to put a product in there. So thank you, darling. I was a little self-conscious about that coming on a YouTube live with oily hair. Arturo Vega, I love you so much. You're such an inspiration and you've helped my life so much. You don't even know, Erica. Oh, I really feel like you've been such a blessing to become emotionally intelligent. Intelligent. I wish I'd met you earlier. Oh, I'm gonna let that sit inside my heart. That feels so good. Thank you, Arturo. That feels really nice to hear. Now I'm like curious. I'm like, how did I change your life? I love this. It's what a gift. What a gift that I'm able to speak into your life and bring change and you to trust the wisdom that I share and implement it and to have an experience of that change and to have technology like YouTube and these videos to be able to support that. What a wonderful time in the world we live in. Hello, Cool Hot from Canada. Let's see. Oh, wow, interesting. Howard Horowitz says, I love your videos. I was on a date and asked her to tell me her story. She went full ballistic, like in a good way. I need more and I need more information there. Dave says, so glad Andy is healthy again. Thank you so much, darling. James Burton, that wasn't Al Capone, that was Marlon Brando. Damn straight. Damn straight. Damani says, you have a sister, Erica. I have two sisters. Yeah, someone's like, it's a tropical isle in the coconut trees. Yes, we have so many coconuts here. It's amazing. So yeah, Johnny, I know it's hard not to call her, but this woman really does need some space from you, bud, just so that she can make her own decisions. So give her some space. Orville Nation says, Been watching you for a while, Erica. Would love to interview you on our channel sometime in a new segment we are putting out. Many blessings. Oh, very cool, Orville. Yeah, just shoot me an email. You can contact me on my website, ericaangelo.com. There's a contact session, and I'd be happy to have a conversation around that. So, guys, listen, I'm so grateful to have you here. And I always want to encourage you guys, if you have never ever worked with me or you've never done my emotional warrior program, I'm going to put a link here because at the end of the day, only can I give you vague advice on this because I don't know you, I don't know your situation. But if you really need some support, or if you're very curious about my emotional warrior program, which is what I talk about so often because I so believe in this concept. I believe that this is revolutionizing the way that we connect with one another, the way that you connect with yourself, first and foremost, and the way that you connect with women. So you can check that out. I just put the link in the chat. It's a work with me page, either to work with me in a coaching container, or the link to the Emotional Warrior program is on there as well. Wow, as well. I can't speak today. Sometimes I just Arturo Vega, he says, Erica, here's how you've changed my life so far. Women notice me and they look and open conversations like leading a dance. I use my wit in order to connect with them, not one liners or robotic systems. Wow, that is so beautiful. Oh, I love it. I think that that is the biggest thing that I do with my work is I help men come back to themselves. A lot of times men come to me to find a woman, and that is part of the process. Um, but ultimately, I want men to find and love themselves because if I had a coach who always said, Erica, if you can't give it to yourself, you can't give it to anyone else. And so, you guys, when you coach with me, when you do my program, my emotional warrior program, it's always about you coming back to yourself as a man. I never want you guys to lose yourself for a woman. I want you to find yourself. And as you find yourself, your true self, your essence, your heart, the beauty of what makes you a unique, special man, that when you elevate and you get to that level, that you can then find your equal. And so you don't have to waste your time with lots of women who are just a waste of time. But as you rise, you meet a woman who's risen with you as well. So that's my heart for you guys. I so appreciate you. Mr. Harja, yes, I live in Indonesia. So this is what I call home, Bali, Indonesia. Guys, I love you so, so, so much. I'm so grateful to have you here. I'm so grateful for this time with you. And just know that you're loved, know that you're supported, know that there are women like myself who love and champion men just like you, and that you're so worthy to be loved, so, so worthy to be loved. And that the most important thing is that you start discovering that for yourself. And as you understand that for yourself, the world will start to see you through that lens as well. Guys, you take care. I'll see you in my next video. If you're just logging on, please make sure that you hit the replay button so that you can get your questions answered, because chances are if someone asks it, it's something that may be relevant to you as well. So know that you have what it takes. I love you guys. Thank you, Al. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, Gabe. I love you guys so much. And I will see you guys next week. I've got some really cool videos coming out for you this week. I hope you guys love them. But in the meantime, be loved and take care.